3, 2, 1, roll 5.
It's time to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing.
That's it.
This is the AMAZIN Podcast, and we're featuring the amazing stories of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners sharing their journey to being amazing. That's right, Average to Amazing presents the AMAZIN Podcast. And now, here's your host.
Talk to him.
Mr. Amazing himself.
Don't move. Keep it locked.
You already know.
Henry Goss.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AMAZIN Podcast. I'm your host, Henry Amazing, and I am so excited because we have an amazing guest. This woman is an entrepreneur, a go-getter, just an all-around great person. So, Imani, go ahead, introduce yourself to the people and let them know a little bit about you.
Hey, y'all. I am Imani Smith. I am actually turning 25 on the 25th of this month.
Oh, snap. Okay.
I'm trying to say 24, but I'm like almost 25. But yes, I own Intimate by Imani. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I'm a graduate of the illustrious Jackson State University. And period. I'm just here.
Hey, shout out to all the Tigers out there.
Hey.
So, take us to the beginning. What was the inspiration for Intimate by Imani?
Oh my goodness. So the funny thing about Intimate is that what it is now versus what I first wanted to do it's totally different. Like, I wasn't going into the lingerie game at all. Even though I had always had a passion for it, I wasn't into it. But I really wanted to kind of go into more so of like the room setup vibes, like how people were doing, but COVID hit. So I'm glad I did not do that because business would have been shut down from the get-go. So I would have had to wait a little bit to get it, but I'm glad I changed my mind early and just went into lingerie. But the main thing about it, honestly, it wasn't even about like, people associate lingerie with sex, but it's not like that to me. Like, I feel like lingerie is a very personal experience. Like, it's just a chance for a woman to really embrace her body and feel beautiful in a different way. Like, and so that's the feeling that I want to provide to people. Like, that's the goal at the end of the day. It's not really anything to do with sex. So for me, starting my business was really like a big introduction into womanhood for me, because I just accepted who I was. This is who I am. This is how I want the world to see me. What you think you see, you see. What you think you know, you know. And that's what it is. But there's still a mystery behind it, even though it's something that is celebrating the body. So that's all.
That is incredible. And you're absolutely right, because I know when I was younger, whenever you're in the mall, you walk by a store that sells lingerie, and first thing you're like, ooh, like, just that mindset of it, like, that is what was the first thing hit my mind. So I definitely see what you mean, and I can definitely see how with Intimate, it really is just a celebration of, womanhood and a woman's ability, a woman's right to celebrate her body in the way she sees fit.
Exactly. That's all it's about, which is why I offer so much, like so many different things. Like, people think that I just have lingerie. I have all different kinds of stuff. So it's like, the more modest you are, there's something for you, but it's still something that'll help you like embrace your body. So that's really the main thing for me. Like, that feeling is what I sell. I don't sell lingerie. I sell that feeling for women, because how you feel when you put it on, you just know. It's just you. So everybody goes through that period of time where they accept themselves, and that's a big part of adulthood. Like, and for Black women especially, and I just want to make sure that people understand that's who I cater to. I always have Black models. I don't prefer to have, anyone else to stand out and market to them, because that's my target audience. Like, I'm kind of comfortable in the area that I am. So it's really all about Black women just celebrating themselves. So, yeah, I don't know. That's why I did it though. Womanhood, like my introduction to womanhood. And I did it right on time. And it felt like everything was falling apart, but it happened right on time. So, yeah.
You spoke on, some of the pitfalls you faced. What were some of those obstacles you had to overcome?
So honestly, at the time, and it's so amazing how God works. At the time, I was working for a car rental company, and the hours were insane. Like the hours were crazy. The money was decent, but the stress level and the amount of work, it wasn't enough nearly. So I had the opportunity. Thank God I wasn't in a position where I had to pay rent. So I was able to save. But I'm also able to get the inventory, but I don't have a plan. I don't have a way to sit and I don't have time to dedicate to my business as much as I want to. Like there were nights where I'm staying up on Saturdays, I'm playing at something at work on my lunch break, I'm trying to do something. So it took me a lot longer to get my business off the ground because I had inventory probably a year in advance. Like I was ready. Like
Wait, a year?
a year. And the crazy part is when it was time for me to do it, I was just like, you know what? Like, dang, I'm just gonna put this stuff on Instagram. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna just not do this. Cause it was like it took so long for me to get started. I feel like I couldn't do it. So the beautiful thing is that what I didn't know was beautiful at the time. I got laid off from my job. So at that time, God is just like, boop, here's your free time. Here's your time. So let's see what you do with it. So thankfully, I had still decided to launch by my birthday, but I really wanted to drop on Valentine's Day of 2020. That's when I wanted to come. So I didn't get to do that. I talked to my parents. I'm talking to my friends like Kristen, the owner of Bunsey's. She is really the person that really made me drop intimate when I did. And I thank God I did. My birthday is March 25th. And so is Intimate's birthday as well. So I decided on I want to say in the middle of February, I decided that I was going to drop my business in March. I didn't have a website. I had all this inventory. I hadn't had a photo shoot. I hadn't done anything for the business. I had less than a month to get it going, and that was my motivation. I did it. I finished my website literally at 11 o'clock before it dropped at 12.
Quit playing.
So it's just like I did it, and I'm so glad that I did because I stopped working on I want to say maybe the 18th. I found out I was getting laid off on I think my birthday, one of them days. But it was so crazy because I was scared of that. But when it happened, I was just so relieved because I had my life back. I had time. I kind of realized the situation that I was in, and I'm like, listen, I can do this. So drop it on my birthday. And the beautiful thing is, I don't like when people talk about numbers because numbers don't matter and it happens differently for everybody. The only thing that I asked people to do for my birthday was support my business. That's it. That was my marketing tool. If you my friend, because at that time I started Intimate. I didn't announce Intimate to the world until maybe February of 2020. I dropped in March. So I didn't give people a big window to follow the page and see what's going on. It was almost instant. So I started my first day of sales available with maybe 200 something followers. So that day I made $700 my first day. And I knew in that moment that I may have to work for somebody to be able to hire myself later, but I know I can do this shit.
Exactly.
You really can do it if you really just put your mind to it. But the only thing is what I hate to see people who don't have any type of business mindset or business knowledge try and go into business. Because those are always the people that go into it for the wrong reasons. And that's the people that give us a bad rep because they don't know what they're doing. And it's just we don't have room for y'all out here because we fighting for a space too. It's just, I hate to see people struggle when they don't really have a heart in it, because you got to have a heart in it because it's going to suck some days. Because I had that $700 day, but I went weeks with making zero. So it's people need to understand that it's ups and downs to it. You can't focus on who doesn't support you. You have to keep your business going, and you have to do it if that's what you want to do. But people get in it and they're not serious, and they can't weather them storms.
Oh, you said a word. It's a lot we can unpack just in that window right there. So I'll say, even from personal experience, nothing beats that either that first day like you had where you made the 700, or look, really just that it's really nothing beats that moment when you realize I can do this. I had an idea, I put in the work, I released it out to the market, and people actually support it. Nothing beats that confirmation. And like, honestly, I believe that's when, well, I know for me, when I had a day like that back in like 2015, I want to say, like that, oh Lord, that's 6 years ago. But well,
Was
almost 6 years ago.
like your accessory company?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was wild with that was I was making $7.25 at the movie theater. I'm on my shift, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep this part, but anywho, I just love
It's
to talk about this because it just I don't know, it's something about that day when when it clicked for it. But I'm making $7.25 an hour. I'm in the middle of a shift. It's like a Friday, I believe, because a movie just came out. So we packed, like we busy, and I'm working hard for $7.25 an hour. And I kid you not, I checked my phone because that was like one of the first days I did a $5 Friday sale. And I kid you not, I think I made like 500. No, yeah, it was around 500. Because I never will forget that. And it was like, bruh.
That and it just changes your whole perspective on money to me. But it's because this is the difference between people like us and people like them. We have that business mindset. So that to us made something else click besides the number. Like
exactly.
The knowledge to know that you can turn something, nothing into something. Like you take the right steps and you can make your money longer. Yeah. So it clicked.
Exactly.
People hear these numbers and think like that's what it's all about. But for me, it was more so the lesson behind it. Like it just taught me that money is accessible. And I think that there's something that Black people aren't really taught. Like we're kind of taught in a way where everything's kind of difficult. Like it's going to be harder for you. So it's like we go into the world with this mindset when in reality it's accessible if we do the work. Like I'm not saying that we don't have pitfalls or anything like that. I know the world is up against us, but the way I just think that positive thinking sometimes will change a lot, especially in business. You have to keep a positive mindset because I'm telling you, you gotta roll with it, but you have to roll with it in a way where you can't stop if you really care about your business. So it's just like I want people to understand, like you gotta think positively. Like everything that we want, we can obtain. And I just hate that we've been taught to kind of be scared of that, or we are taught, or nobody's even shown us that we have access to it. So we do. I just want us to, do it right. Because Black people are geniuses. If we started putting a price tag on the things that we create, we would change everything. But people got to get there.
See, if I had one of them clue bombs, I would just drop it right there. Like
it's like, I just hate to see us give away everything for free because everybody's biting off of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's
true. Oh, so now I want to segue back into what we were talking about earlier with, I guess, the motivation for jumping into, like entrepreneurship or, owning a business, or even just the motivation behind you putting something out into the world. Now, we do know that, there are people that do it for profit, like strictly profit, and then we have people that do it, to genuinely add some value to people's lives.
Right.
So what advice would you give someone who believes that they have something, positive to contribute to, the market, but they're like life is just lifing at the moment? What advice would you give them to push through?
So number one, you gotta really understand and be accepting of adversity. Because if you don't adjust, you drown. So this is the thing though. People, we get so obsessed about, because we're seeing content so fast. You see somebody business that's Black owned, it looks like you make 1 million in 8 minutes on social media. You see them go viral and their lives change, so people look at these things, but they don't see the people that make nothing. They don't see the people that just made a few hundred. They don't see the people just scraping by. So I think more so just kind of having that window, or having that barrier or that boundary with yourself, that you aren't gonna let yourself get like discouraged. Like that's the main thing. But the most important thing, you have to know the why behind your business. Why do you do it? Why do you do it? Because the why is all the motivation you need. Because if you can stand on your why is your foundation. Because I just feel like if you don't know why you're doing something, then you're not going to fully commit to it. It's not going to be something that you care about, something that you give your all to. And with a business, for us, because we don't get 2 or 3 chances, we have to be right out the gate. So know your why, stick to it, and do what you have to do to obtain everything you need to do in business. Because if it's something you care about, you'll do it.
Facts. You did that. Like, I know this is probably unprofessional, but you oh my goodness, the breakdown of that is so true. And I do believe, like you said, when it comes to that why, like you really have to be intentional when you're crafting your why. And
Yeah.
because like I remember I saw somewhere where it was like, if your why don't make you cry, then it's not big enough. And if your why, like literally, if your why isn't that strong to where it'll push you through them dark days or them moments of, like if you're a business owner or entrepreneur, where you have that's downturn in your cycle where the sales ain't really there, but you have something amazing to put out, like your product or your service is needed and it'll benefit people, but you just not getting or you feel as though you're not getting the support, and you just got to keep going back to that why. Like you have to.
Definitely. But let me, since you say that, let me share something with you real quick.
Okay.
So the beautiful thing about the why, and for me, why that statement comes full circle, is because my why is simply to celebrate Black women. But I'm going to tell you, in February, Greg reached out to me and gave money for someone to have a set. So I did a giveaway. In March, I had a Q, my brother's line brother, reach out to me and he gave away a set. And now again in March, I have an Alpha, Mr. Henry Giles, period, taking care of a set. So it's just like the beautiful thing is here, I'm seeing Black men celebrate Black women. And I think in these times, especially, everybody acts like we fighting, like we hate each other, but it's so much love. Like, to know that I have the support of men, I have nothing on my website that a man can put on. Well, if he wants to, like, but it's gonna be kind of difficult, but you can put it on if you want to. But I have nothing that is really catered towards men. So to see Black men come in and support, number one, me, a Black woman business owner, to give something away to another Black woman that I care about, that I can give her something that is given to me by a Black man, like that means everything. So that in my why is like when moments like that come full circle. Because the crazy part is the girl that I had sent the package to, that my brother's line brother bought, she sent me a message and she was like, this was the first piece that she had ever gotten. She was like, she had like a terrible week. Of course, I write handwritten notes. So I wrote her a note, just thanking her, whatever. And she was like, this was the first piece of lingerie. Like when she put it on, she felt amazing. Like it just made her entire day. Like, and she was like, I cried, like opening it. She was like, I'm just like, dang, like my business can give that to somebody. And this is what somebody who supports me gave me to give to somebody else. Like that's the why. And like when moments like that, it comes full circle. Because I'm telling you, before that, I had stopped because this month I just took a break. I stopped promoting. I just needed time because people don't know that there are these moments too, like where you just need a break and it's okay to take them. So I just needed that time. So I wasn't really focused on sales, but that came through. So that made it worthwhile. Like I couldn't care about a number right now because of that. Like that's what my business is for. So yeah, just a full circle moment.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I almost cried. Well, I wasn't gonna, like a tear wasn't about to drop, but I felt it on the inside. Imani, thank you so much for stopping by and dropping those gems. Before you go, and I ask the last question, go ahead and tell the people where they can follow you, connect with Intimate, and all that.
Yes, y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Intimate by Imani, no underscores, no nothing. And then at www.intimatebyimani.com.
Awesome. All right, everybody, make sure you go support, follow, like, share. And for those of you who do decide to go support, we have a very special gift for you. Use the discount code AMAZIN, AMAZIN, and you will get a special discount on your order, and you'll be entered for a very special giveaway. So go ahead and support. Now, before we go, Imani, I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all of my guests, and it is, 1, what does being amazing mean to you? And 2, what makes you amazing?
Ooh, being amazing is being kind. I am big on kind people. So just be kind. Just be nice. That's all it takes. And I'm amazing because I'm kind. I'm a good person. Being a good person takes you a long way in life.
Thank you for listening to the AMAZIN Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow us on all social media at the AMAZIN Podcast. We'll see you here next time.